Good afternoon, friends. Yesterday, we had discussed a flash type of ADC, which is also called as direct type of ADC. Quickly, we'll recap what we did yesterday. Here we have number of operational amplifiers, op-amps, okay, and we have a reference voltage that is supplied. See, for the non-inverting terminals, input terminals of the op-amp, non-inverting are all positives, are connected to this what is called as the resistance ladder. Remember, our objective is to convert analog signal into digital signal, right? We have seen two types of ADCs. This is the third type of ADC, wherein we are giving some reference voltage to the non-inverting terminal of op-amp, and to the inverting terminal. To the inverting terminal, all the inverting terminals are connected, and to the inverting terminal, we are going to provide this analog input. Now, this is my signal which I obtained from my sensor or transducer, which is an analog signal. Now, this is to be converted into the digital form. This is what is our objective. Okay, so out of the two input terminals of the op-amp, one inverting terminal is connected to the analog input, and all the non-inverting terminals are connected to a reference voltage. Now, in this case, we have provided plus 10 volt. It's not necessary every time the voltage should be plus 10 volt. It can be 12 volt even. It can be 5 volt even. So, depending on my signal strength and my circuit requirements, I'll be deciding what will be the range of voltages as the reference voltage. And as you can see in the resistance ladder, we have resistance in each step. This is called as resistance ladder. At each step, we have 1 kilo ohm, 1K, 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 up to 7th step. And after 7th step, to reach out my 10 volt, I have 3K resistance. Okay, this is as per my 0 to 10 volt requirement. Okay, so at each positive or non-inverting terminal, I am so to say corresponding to this resistance based on 10 volt of impressed voltage. Because of this 1K resistance at this terminal or at this op-amp, I am providing 1 volt. And as we know, V is equal to IR. The current will vary, and you have 1 volt voltage that is provided at this first operational amplifier. Now here, one more important thing. I will be generating least significant digit first, and then I'll be generating the most significant digit. Just recollect, out of a bit, out of a binary digit, let us say 1010 is the bit that I have. This 1010, the rightmost 0 is my least significant bit, and the leftmost highest bit, that is 1, is my most significant bit. So lowest is my, or the first is my LSB, and the last one will be helping me out in generating my MSB. Okay, so in the first phase, corresponding to 1 volt, and let us take one example of, let us say, yesterday's example only, I'll just repeat. I want to have 2.5 volt that is to be converted into a digital signal. Okay, so what I do, I have provided this input voltage. This is going to remain fixed. Okay, so at this terminal, I'll be having 1 volt. At this terminal, I'll be having voltage 2 volt. At this terminal, I'll be having voltage 3 volt, 4 volt, 5 volt, 6 volt, 7 volt, and then 10 volt. Okay. So my input on an analog voltage, which is to be converted into digital form. That is, let us say 2.5 volt. What will happen? This analog signal at this op amp will act as a comparator now. Okay. What it will compare? This 2.5 volt that I am giving to the inverting terminal will be compared with 1 volt that I am providing as a reference voltage. Okay. So 2.5 volt is greater than 1 volt. Right? So the output will be on. The output will be on, or it will be generating a bit as 1. Yes, the voltage, analog voltage that I want to convert is more than 1 volt. So 1. Right? Next step in the ladder, 2 volt. Now the same 2.5 volt will be read here also. The 2.5 volt is greater than 2 volts even. So yes, at output that will correspond to, yes means on or 1. So 1, 1. Now next step in the ladder. So I have 3 volts here, isn't it? And my analog voltage is 2.5 volt. So once again it will be compared here. So 2.5 volt is less than 3 volt. So if it is equal to or more than the input voltage, then there will be yes or on. If it is less than the stipulated voltage, it will be off, or it will be no, or it will be 0. So up to first step and second step, in this case of 2.5 volt, I'll be having yes, yes, or 1, 1. And thereafter all these will be 0, 0, 0, 0. Isn't it? Because 3 volt is greater than 2.5 volt, 4 volt, 5 volt, 5, 6, all these are greater than 2.5 volt. So all will be my 0. Now this 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. This will be processed by my encoder logic. It all depends on what kind of bit I want to generate as the output. Whether I want to have a 4-bit number or a 4-bit word, whether I want to have a 2-bit word, whether I want to have 3-bit word. So here in this sketch, it is going to generate a 3-bit word corresponding to my 2.5 volt. So this is how my analog voltage is converted. Let us not bother about what exactly happens inside this encoder logic. If you are interested, we can discuss the digital fundamentals separately. Okay, so for us it is important to remember how this flash or direct ADC works. Okay friends, let us quickly see. The circuit provides the reference voltage to all the comparators. Each comparator, so all the op amps are my comparators. Each comparator gives an output of 1 when its analog voltage is higher than the reference voltage, or otherwise the output is 0. In the circuit, reference voltages to comparators are provided by means of resistor ladder logic. Now, the circuit described in the figure acts as a 3-bit A to D converter device. Let us assume this ADC works between the range of 0 to 10 volts. As I said, it can vary. The circuit requires 7 comparators and 8 resistors. Now, the voltages across each resistor are divided in such a way that a ladder of 1 volt is built with the help of 1 kilo ohm resistances. Therefore, the reference voltages across all the comparators are 1 to 7 volts in steps of 1 volt each. And the last step between 7 to 10 volts with 10 kilo ohm resistance. So I have a jump from 7 to 10. You can have more number of op amps as well, more number of comparators as well. Now, let us assume that the input voltage signal is 2.5 volts. It's not necessary that only it should be 2.5 volts. Just as an example, we have taken. It can be 3.5 volts. It can be any number, right? Any input voltage. So just as an example, we have taken 2.5 volts is to be converted into its related digital form. As 2.5 volt is greater than 1 volt and 2 volt, the first 2 comparators will give output as 1, 1. But 2.5 volt is less than 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 10 values, 10 volt values. Therefore, all other comparators will give 0. Thus, we will have output from comparators as 0. Let us resume. Now, let us assume that an input voltage signal is of 2.5 volt is to be converted into its related digital form. As 2.5 volts is greater than 1 volt and 2 volt, first two comparators will give output as 1, 1, starting from least significant digit, right? Most 1, 1. But 2.5 volt is less than 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 volt values. Therefore, all other comparators will give zeros. So coming to the most significant digits, it will be 0, 0, 0, 0. Thus, we have the output from the comparator as 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1 from top, that is from left, from top of the resistance ladder. This will be fed to the encoder logic circuit, which will convert it into 3 output lines format by using binary algebra. Then this digital output from A to ADC may be used for manipulation or actuation by the microcontroller or a microprocessor or computer. So whatever processing I want to do further, whatever control action I want to do further will be done by my either computer or a microprocessor or a microcontroller. This is how my flash type of ADC works. So these were the 3 types of A to D converters. Let us quickly see. We want to finish the D to A converters as well. Let us see the 2 types of D to A converters now. DACs. R to R ladder DAC. Let us quickly see these 2 types of D to A converters. First, the weighted resistor type DAC. I think we need to draw this sketch. Afterwards, we can draw and try to understand the working of this D to A converter. Now, here my objective is the digital signal is to be converted to analog signal. Why there is this such requirement in mechatronic system? My microprocessor, my microcontroller, or my computer will generate, after the control action is carried out, will generate one digital output. Now, this digital output cannot run my DC motor. My digital output is needed to be converted into some analog signal which can be understood by my actuator. Let it be an electro-pneumatic actuator, let it be an electro-hydraulic actuator, let it be a DC motor, let it be an AC motor, whatever is the actuating device. If it understands only analog signals, my controller, may it be a microprocessor, may it be a microcontroller, may it be a computer, all these will be generating the digital signal, digital control signals. These digital control signals are needed to be converted into equivalent analog signals, and these analog signals will be in turn running my actuators. So this is where there is a requirement of D to A converters. So let us see the arrangement now. Once again, we are talking about analog signal conditioning devices, right? So we have op-amp here, which is a voltage follower or current follower or a comparator, as we have seen various applications of, or a summing amplifier or a subtracting amplifier. It can be used in variety of roles. Here we have one op-amp here. The non-inverting terminal is grounded and the inverting terminal is connected. So we have this feedback loop, one resistance in the feedback loop. This is a typical arrangement of an operational amplifier. Okay. And at the inverting terminal of the op-amp, so this is the feedback, but the inverting terminal of the op-amp is connected to the reference voltage. We have series resistances R, R by 2, R by 4, and R by 8 for this reference voltage. And then we have electronic switches in between, in the path. Now, these switches, when these are put on, this line will be on and this reference voltage will be applied to my op-amp. When this switch is on, when this switch is off, there will not be any reference voltage corresponding to resistance R to the inverting terminal. Similarly, when this switch is on or off, based on that, equivalent reference voltage will be supplied to the inverting terminal. So we are moving from least significant bit to most significant bit. Let us take the earlier case, last case that we have seen. It was the number, let us say 0011. So least significant bit is 1. 1, next bit is 1, then 0, 0. When we move from right to left, from least significant bit to most significant bit. So 0011, what does that mean? The least significant bit is 1. So when this switch receives the signal, digital signal 1, so I'll be giving 1, 1, 0, 0, isn't it? Starting from right to left. Right to left, 1, 1, 0, 0. If you read from left to right, most significant digit to least significant digit, it will be 0, 0, 1, 1. So if we read from left to right, 0, 0, 1, 1, corresponding to the bit 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay. So least significant bit is 1, starting from right. 1, 1, 1, 0, 0. So this switch will be actuated. 1 means this reference voltage corresponding to resistance R will be given to this inverting terminal of my op-amp. So this acts as a summing amplifier. Okay. So whatever is the voltage plus, now this is second one, isn't it? We are talking about 0, 0, 1, 1. So least significant digit is, rightmost digit is 1. Second rightmost is 1. So 1 means on, whatever is the voltage, plus this is also 1. So whatever is the voltage upon resistance will be the current that will be flowing, isn't it? So this voltage plus this voltage, because both these are on, these will be added up and this will be given to my input inverting terminal of my op-amp, right? So this voltage, see, automatically this is converted into analog voltage form because the switching action is taking place here only. So based on my digital number or the bit or a binary number, accordingly appropriate switches will be put on. Now, only tricky part here is selection of your resistances. Now for that I need to do lot of experimentation, and I need to do lot of experimentation on variety of reference voltages and using variety of resistances. Because if you take the same case 0011, starting from left to right, 0011, how much this corresponds to a decimal number would be, rightmost one is 2 to the power 0, so that is 1. Second right is 1, so 2 to the power 1. So this corresponds to a decimal number of 2 plus 1, that is 3. Okay, so 2 plus 1 is 3. Now if I want to have the number 3, if it is voltage, it should be 3 volt that is to be generated here. So I know what is the decimal value of my binary signal. So accordingly, I'll be setting up my reference voltage and the resistances in such a way that I'll be getting 3 volts as the output signal. This is just as an example. It's not that always it will be 3 volts. So for that, we need to study the quantization part also. Okay. So just as an example, how it works. So what was the number I said? 0011. So 0011. 0011. So this will be the voltage because it is 1. The switch is on. This will be the voltage. Plus this is also 1. This will also be the voltage 1. Voltage 1 plus voltage 2. Then I have 0, 0. That means this switch will not be operational. So this voltage will not be applied. This will not be summed up, isn't it? Only these two voltages will be summed up. Now I have to see while calibrating this D2A converter, right? I need to calibrate it by various trials and errors related to my reference voltage and selection of resistance. I have to be very cautious about selection of resistances. Otherwise, I will not have appropriate D to A conversion. So, weighted resistor type DAC, a simple form of DAC, uses a summing amplifier to form the weighted sum of all the non-zero bits. Weighted sum of all the non-zero bits in the input word. Which are 0 bits, there will not be any voltage, isn't it? The reference voltage is connected to the resistors by means of electronic switches which respond to binary 1. The values of the input resistances depend on which bit in the word a switch is responding to. The value of the resistor for successive bits from the LSB being halved. As you see, you can see from top to bottom, starting resistance was R, then it is half, R by 2, another half, R by 4, another half, R by 8, and so on, depending on how many steps we want to have. So the value of the resistor for successive bits from LSB being half. Hence, the sum of the voltages is a weighted sum of the digits in the word. Such a system is referred to as a weighted resistor network. The function of the op-amp circuit is to act as a buffer to ensure that the current coming out of the resistor network is not affected by the output load. And also so that the gain can be adjusted to give an output range of voltages appropriate to a particular application. So I have a further advantage of adjusting the gain of the op-amp also. As I said, for calibrating, I know the digital number, I know the corresponding value which I want to generate as analog voltage. Based on this, I will be adjusting the gain, I'll be selecting the reference voltage, I'll be selecting the resistances as well. This is how the thing is that you might understand immediately, you might not understand. You have to repeatedly read, refer the book. As I told you, I have put the soft copy of the book, Boulton book, on our Google Classroom, friends. Refer that, go through the text, because all these notes are prepared through the Boulton book only. Now you read it, remember the sketch, you need to practice to draw the sketch and write down the conversion process. I think we'll stop for today.